going to have to do my workout from home.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Gaming After Dark on this Tuesday, March the 17th. It is also St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there. I don't know if you're Irish or have the luck of the Irish, but anyway, to all of our Irish friends and people that celebrate this day, have a happy St. Patrick's Day and enjoy it as best you can. I know this is probably going to be the most somber or sober St. Patrick's Day for many people around the world than it's ever been, simply because of this COVID virus and the isolation and all of the stuff that's happening right now. And bottom line, I think from on behalf of me and Primal, we hope that everyone is taking the necessary precautions and being safe, because I would be disheartened to hear of anybody in our community, getting it. I mean, I hear that, there's a great chance of recovering from it, but regardless, we want to get this under control. It's going to hit us health-wise, economy-wise. It's bad for business all around the world right now. It's terrible. And my heart goes out to anybody, like I said, that's struggling with it or has to be quarantined, all that stuff. But anyway, I want to welcome my incredible guest, host, not my guest, but she is my co-host. Might as well be. Yeah, she's in and out all the time. Like I said, she's in and out like a wet dick. But here she is, guys, the lady you've been waiting for. She is back. She sounds awesome. I'm sure she is, as she always is. And that is my co-host, the amazing Primal Eve. Primal, what you up to?
Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm back again. Yeah, as you guys have seen, life's been doing me pretty hard. And I love me some anal, but not this kind. But no, so far I'm just trying to function here. This coronavirus has definitely thrown a haywire into some of my regular living with work and with my kid being home and my actual job. I deal with the public on a daily basis and it's the public that travels.
Right.
And so it's been kind of crazy. We're trying all of our different options. We should honestly just be closed, but it's not up to me.
No, I was going to ask you. So how has it affected you? How has it affected your work? Obviously, I would imagine your kids out of school because they've closed the schools here. Have they done that in your area?
Yes. My kid. Well, I'm in New York, so it's been a really big crisis here. Us having the most cases, and her school, our whole entire county here, we're down. We're out of school for a month. It's not just the 2 weeks that a lot of the other people have been doing. So I'm trying to figure out what am I doing? Like, what's going on? And then even just for me to have just regular essential stuff has been absolutely ridiculous. The stores have absolutely nothing. What the hell am I supposed to do? So things have been kind of crazy.
Well, it's obvious as well. I can understand people getting a little extra, but most people are taking far beyond their share. They're stocking up as if World War III is coming and we're going to live the next 9 to 10 months in a bunker. Like, it's ridiculous. As for me and my job, well, I'm lucky that my boss hasn't closed the store. I work in a sporting goods store. I'm a sales associate, but our sales have been dismal. Like, it is hurting. He's going to have trouble paying the bills for the next couple of months, let alone keep me employed, but he's chosen to keep his full-time staff employed. He's going to cut back our hours a little bit, but nothing I can't handle. So yeah, it is crazy times out there right now. And let's hope that this doesn't last too long. And like I said, and it'll go quicker if people sort of follow the recommendations. But if people are going to be nonchalant and they're just going to go out and mix with the populace, obviously it is going to be longer and harder to contain. So we see the numbers. We see how fast this thing is spreading. And trust me, herpes got nothing on this fucker.
And that's what kind of pisses me off about my job, is because as long as we're open, people are going to come out and they're going to come here. I deal with hundreds of people every single day. And because we're open, I feel like we're increasing the risk. But nobody sees that. Everybody else sees dollar signs. So unfortunately, I'm in a position where I don't have the time and I can't afford to take the time off. So I'm stuck in a situation I really don't want to be in, no matter what the precautions are.
Yeah.
Sanitized everything, and we have
damned if you do and damned if you don't, right?
Yeah, it's just fucking dumb.
you need to be home, like I said, like you illustrated, but at the same time, you kind of had to be at work because you still have bills to pay. I don't know what the United States is planning to do in its terms of helping the public, but at least here in Canada, I know that our government said they are coming up with a stimulus package to help people pay their bills, and they're trying to basically get the banks and things to, waive off mortgages and different things for a couple of months, help people sort of get back on their feet. So, how this all gets implemented at the end of the day, I don't know, but I will commend them if they can get this to go ahead. I'll give them huge props because it is going to be hard on people. Having kids home for school means meals and daycare and you name it. There's everybody's affected by this because there's a big spin-off and a trickle down. Right now, I got to give a big shout out to people that still have to work, like the healthcare workers, delivery drivers, people like that are still providing those essential services, and people like yourself who like I said, still got to be on the front lines, even though technically you should be home, just enjoying time with your family and staying in self-imposed quarantine, right? So,
Right.
yeah. But anyway, everybody I'm sure in the chat is tired of hearing about COVID-19. You come here for some good news, some gaming vibes, and we got lots of that tonight. So we're going to leave that one on the table. Like I said, we just want to wish everybody well. So let's give a big shout out to our amazing people in the chat that are here so far. We got Timothy Dixon, who was the first in the house. Spider-Man swinging on through. I knew he'd be here. We got Jay Slayer Jay. We got CSS Freelance. Guys, share this one out if you can. Let's get some numbers up in here. People say they like the show, but yet, I'm really shocked that our numbers aren't much higher. I don't know if it's because of the time or what. I mean, we always have our regulars. The people I've already mentioned in this chat are normally here week to week. We certainly greatly appreciate it. We know who you are. We definitely know who you are.
Yes.
And honest to God, one of these days, like I said, if my tides of fortune ever change, I definitely want to do something to say thank you to everybody. Dreadpool is in the chat, and he gives us a big cheers. What's up, Dread? Appreciate you being here, brother. Like I said, glad to have Primal back this week. Let's cross our fingers. Hope our internet holds up.
I know.
She was worried about her mic, but her mic sounds good. So go ahead, Primal.
I said, yeah, don't do anything to jinx it.
Don't do anything to jinx it. Cyber Gunner's in the chat. Well, I think the jinx is already over. He's here. That means the show will crash. Just kidding, Cyber. Great. Glad you could be here, man. Great to be. RDX is still going. That's what it is. Got to compete with the big boys. He's still over there talking in numbers. We're going to talk a little bit of numbers ourselves tonight, and we'll get that one out of the way. Born Distracted. What's happening, bro? Thanks for being here. Primal, like I said, she says she probably won't weigh in on us too much because she doesn't really care or really get the whole tech talk. I'm not even going to elaborate too much, guys, because you know me. I'm not the smartest tech talk wise myself. But I'm just going to weigh on it because Microsoft sort of made it official. Got a lot of that speculation bullshit out of the way. Thank God, because I'm tired of talking about what we think is in the box. Now we know. So here it is, just running it down for you. Then I'll get Primal's thoughts on it all. The processor is 8 cores at 3.8 gigahertz, 366 gigahertz with SMT, whatever that means. Might be shut my tits. I don't know. Custom Zen 2 CPU, graphics, 12 teraflops, 52 CUs, 1.825 gigahertz custom RDNA 2 GPU. Geez, I sound like I'm talking alienese over here. The die size 360.45 millimeter 2, process 7 meters nanometer enhanced, memory 16 gigabytes GD. I know the RAM is always good. GDDR6 with 320 megabyte bus memory bandwidth, 10 gigabytes at 5. See, yeah, we're like, just reading this shit out. It's just like, who the fuck cares? It does have a 1 terabyte custom NVMe solid state drive. 2.4 gigabits of raw, 20 point, I don't know. Like I said, I'm already getting lost with all this. It's just jargon to me. Expandable storage. Now, okay, so bottom line, you got the 4K Blu-ray player. We all know, yes, based on just those numbers, I can tell you right now, this is a beast. It is fucking phenomenal, okay? Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a know-it-all when it comes to tech because I'm just going to sound even stupider than I just sounded trying to read it out. But we do know it's a beast. It's going to live up to expectations on paper anyway. It looks phenomenal. Now, the one thing, like Primal, does any of that mean anything to you, really? I mean, outside of obviously we know processor speed, having the extra RAM is good. Anything?
Honestly, not a damn thing. Okay. I was almost falling asleep there with you rambling off. I no matter what it is though, like whatever it produces is
Right.
what matters to me. So
Right. But now you saw the trailer a while back, and I know it was probably a pre-rendered thing, but we saw the Hellblade 2 trailer.
Oh my god, yeah.
Now, if the system, if that's the target and it can hit that, how do you feel about that?
Fuck yeah. That's like
It was insane, right?
if that's just the start of what they can do, that's pretty damn impressive. But let's see it
Yeah.
first. My hopes and everything like that, my optimism about certain things is kind of
Mhm.
low. Like my bar's set pretty low
Right.
with a lot of things. So let's see it. I'm not going to get too excited beforehand.
I agree with you, and I'm guessing much like myself, Primal probably regardless of the power that's in this thing or what games drop for it. In all likelihood, as much as you might want this console, are you likely to buy one this year?
No, because I cannot afford one. That
I,
is my answer.
yeah, I'm in
If
the
I
same boat.
could, then yeah. But no, I won't have one of these at all. Maybe not even the first year or so.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, Primal. I honestly don't think, as much as I might want it or want even a PS5, I don't think I'm getting either one. At least out of the gate this year, money's going to be tight. I'm moving into a new house here in like about a month and a half, so that's and I think as long as my Xbox One X is competent and capable, and I can still play a lot of the new games, and I think I can probably wait for a little while. So.
Mhm.
Draven Arrow, what's happening, brother? Thanks for being here. Greatly appreciated. Yes, we got amazing chat in the house right now. But here's an interesting one, Prime. I don't know if you caught this part, and this is the one that opened my eyes a little bit. Kind of the specs we kind of knew about. We kind of seen them for a few weeks through speculation and insiders, so they're not far off, if anything. But
Uh-huh.
did you hear about the little 1 terabyte memory cards now that you may have to buy?
That's not a big deal. You buy memory cards for everything anyway. I understand we're all getting used to the whole built-in thing, but being able to have like an interchangeable storage, that's not a big deal to me. I see a lot of people bitching about it. It's not a big deal.
It's not a huge deal for me either, as long as they're at least reasonably priced. Because proprietary memory
Right.
has never been an issue so much as for anybody is the fact that it's always been way overpriced. Like if you look at the PlayStation Vita, right? Yeah, they have proprietary memory cards. All right, I get it. But why are you pricing the same amount of memory because it's a proprietary memory card that's like 3 times the cost of a standard SD card? And that's what I can never understand. Like to me, that's like gouging your customer, knowing they have to have it because again, it's proprietary. You can't buy one off the shelf. Thank
Right.
God Nintendo with the Switch, at least they let people use micro SD cards. So thank
Mhm.
God, because I was like, man, if Nintendo is going to fucking go that route, then somebody's going to make a freaking fortune. Yeah, Vita memory cards are outrageous. Same thing with PSP back in the day. Like everything that Sony has always
Yeah.
done, the cards were stupid, and it was at least back in those days, I'll give them credit. At least in those days, game downloads and upload or DLC wasn't like 25 gigabytes or 100 gigs.
Mhm.
Now, so how this works, the little memory card. Now, the good news is, for those who haven't been following this news, your old hard drives are still usable with the new Xbox Series X. You can still play your games off of those drives. Now, apparently, the new memory cards are basically storage to help you run the X Series X enhanced game. So if you buy a game that's basically built or is supposed to have Series X enhancements, I
Uh-huh.
think they have to run from that memory card or from the internal solid state drive, if I'm reading that correctly, because I guess they need that extra bandwidth, that speed to run those graphical effects, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, that makes sense if that is the case.
Yeah.
But
And
then
again, it's not a deal breaker for me. I know it's one of those things where you kind of sigh. It just depends on how, again, Microsoft intends to implement it. And we also don't know what other storage plans Microsoft has in store as well. I would assume at some point they're going to have, really high end hard drives that we could buy with more storage than 1 terabyte and
right.
still download our games. So I'm not going to panic. I think I'll be just fine, at least for the first while, as many of us will be. So yeah, it's interesting though, right?
Sorry, my kid just oh, she just right across the room real quick. It distracted me.
No problem. Shizno Elite is in the chat. What's going on, Shizno? Great to be here. And Sig Larson is in here. He thinks the memory cards will help push the innovation, which is quite a possibility. I'm with Shizno again. It's not about the memory card. It's just worried about being gouged, paying way more than we need to pay. If they're in line with the other types of storage, I'm okay with that. But if you're going to charge us a terabyte and you can walk out and get a hard drive that's like, okay, well, it's like, $60 for a 1 terabyte hard drive, and this thing's like $180, and what the fuck?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That doesn't. Again, they've done that before with the other systems where you had to have a specific, and it had to be a name brand type hard drive for you to use. Yeah, as long as they don't pull that shit, and we can use our everyday shit, I'll be all right. But it's not a big deal. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's too early to complain and shit on things because we let me see. Dreadpool is dropping some tech fact here. USB 3.2 can do 10 gigabytes per second, and your plugged-in power hard drives can do 120 megabytes. That's a huge thing right there. Solid state drive SATA 3 can do 550 megabytes per second. So Dreadpool dropping some tech facts in the chat for us there. That's good to know, Dread. So it's gonna pose an advantage. And yes, fair price, especially because we know the console is not going to be overly cheap either. So, and the other thing is we don't know about Sony. I mean, Sony's going to have a show tomorrow, which we're going to talk about in just a second here. But hopefully they're going to announce the PlayStation 5 specs tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But I remember a little while ago, a couple months back, they knit a patent for some sort of cartridge thing. I wonder if that's what they were doing. Maybe that's the same style of thing. Maybe that's a memory card.
Right.
Much like what Microsoft is doing. We don't know that for a fact, but makes me wonder, right?
It's just they're both going to turn out to be the same system. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Shizno, tell us about it, bro. Those 360 hard drives were super overpriced.
Yeah, they were.
Crazy. Buy one off the shelf, like a regular one for your PC, be like $100. 360 ones were like $300, like stupid, right? Yeah. But anyway, enough about that. Like I said, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, hopefully they get that out of the way. I'm just tired of the speculation now. I just want to get this fucking out so we can move on, talk about the games instead of watching podcast after podcast after podcast, talk about power and performance and power, and this is as good as my PC, blah, 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 blah. Like, again, it's great for the 10% of us that really give a shit, but I'd say, the other 90% just care about great games. Power is important, and no one's going to sit here and say that it's not. And it's even more important if it happens to be power for the console you love the most. But it's not the be all end all. And I don't see either one of these systems being underpowered per se. I think they're both going to be more than capable of performing the kind of visuals that we want. So it's going to come down again, what kind of games and how you can utilize those games.
Exactly.
Because if you're going to keep making games next generation that all look like Sea of Fucking Thieves, well, nobody's ever going to understand how your system's really pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? Load times are going to be the big thing. How about you, Primal? For me, that's my biggest excitement, is knowing that we finally got hard drives that can speed these fucking games up.
Oh, of course, it would be nice to have a decent load time coming from that. Well,
Primal wants a load, guys.
I wouldn't mind one or two, but no, just back in the day, we would have 20-minute load screens. We could make a sandwich, go to the bathroom, take a shower real quick, and then come back just in time to play 5 minutes, and then have another load screen. Have it be for a cutscene, or even just going to a different part of the game. But it would be nice. It's definitely a luxury thing, but it's not something that I'm gonna punish my opinion of the system for.
Right. Speaking of loads, Primal, are you expecting in 9 months to have the coronavirus baby boom?
Yes.
I wonder about that. The more time people get to spend with each other in the homes, they might start exploring those dark caves again, right?
Right. I know. Hey, this might be my chance.
Hey, you might be able to take advantage of somebody. Right? There's more people at home now, right?
I'd just be like a pussy dealer or something. Hey, how much toilet paper do you guys have? All right.
There you go. A little roll for a little hole. Oh, that's why I love Primal, guys, and I miss her when she is not here, because she gets my sense of humor, and I certainly get hers. Yeah, man, we just want to see the games. The blue one is in the chat. Matt Burns is here as well. What's going on, guys? Thanks for being here. Greatly appreciated. yeah, so let's move on again. Well, quickly, PlayStation shows tomorrow. I guess is about fucking time. What they're going to show? Who I think Mark Cerny is making the presentation. What do you expect they will finally unveil, Primal?
I don't know. I don't. There isn't anything. And I apologize to you guys because my life has been a little hectic, so I'm a little behind on a lot of things. But no, but I can't imagine them doing anything more than just specs. To be honest, there's really nothing else. We already know the games that are coming out and can't really add more. So
if you're a betting woman, do you think they? Because we've seen sources that say that this thing is more powerful than the Series X, and that's almost hard to believe. But anything's possible. So do you think, honestly, if you're a betting woman, would you stake that Sony is going to have the power advantage over the Series X?
no. Just from history, and even then, well, let's say that they do have it. Do they know how to utilize it? Like both of these companies have had power to do things, but have they really used it correctly? Right. It all depends on the games that they come out with.
See, here's the two weird things, right? I mean, it's one thing we've always known, and I think they specified this or alluded to this in the RDX podcast, is that when Sony is usually confident about something or they're very strong in their numbers or whatever, we know that Sony can't fucking wait to jump on the back of Microsoft immediately. Like Microsoft has good news, they unveil something, boom, Sony's in there, right?
Right.
So to be holding out all this time, if they openly knew this thing was more powerful than the Series X, why wait so long? Because they're normally out the first thing.
Right.
Now, the second thing, though, that kind of makes me oddly nervous, and it really shouldn't matter, but is the fact that now Microsoft, before they were saying the world's most powerful console, Xbox Series X is the most powerful console. Now I've seen one of their latest phrasing saying the Series X is Xbox's most powerful console, which kind of goes, okay, now they changed the phrasing of it. So if theoretically Xbox Series X, yes, would be the most powerful Xbox console ever made, but they're not saying the world's most powerful or the absolute is not there anymore. So that kind of makes you wonder. So at the end of the fucking day, it's really not going to make a difference. I don't think we're going to see a massive difference in the teraflops, blah, blah, blah. Overall, I think it's really going to come down to who's got a great launch lineup, and bottom line is that price. And that's the thing. If Sony wants to match or be ahead of Microsoft, how are they going to match with the price? We already heard reports that apparently they're having trouble getting this thing under like $450, and that's cost price to them at $450. That's before they've added on the consumer markup, which is at least 30% extra. Right. So, and the same goes for Xbox. So, geez, it really makes me wonder, right? Like, where are these consoles going to come in at? And is anybody willing to take a loss on a console? I don't see either one of them doing it. And Sony, well, like I said, Microsoft doesn't care that you buy the console as much as Sony does, right? And then that's the biggest difference between these two companies, is Microsoft doesn't care. As long as you're in the Xbox ecosystem, you're subscribing to Gold, you're buying your Game Pass, they don't care if you're on the PC, you're on the S.
Right, they have options. They have a variety of ways to get their money no matter what.
Yeah, but Sony kind of makes it clear that they're all in on their console because they're not right now, at least to this point, they're not all in with PC. So generally, if you want to play the latest and greatest PlayStation games, you're not getting them on PC unless you're 2 or 3 years old. We saw that with Horizon Zero Dawn apparently is coming out. But that game, look, if you wanted that game, wanted to play it, you fucking played it already. You played it on PS4. So that's where the difference between the two comes out. Right? And like me this year, I'm going to play Halo Infinite. But guess what I'm playing it on, guys? The Xbox One X, not the Series X. I don't think I'm going to have enough money for this new console. And
I certainly not. No,
right?
Absolutely not.
So Spider-Man saying $4.99 max. Spider-Man, if it comes in at $4.99, dude, I'm going to blow my lid because I think that would be a phenomenal price for what we're talking about here. But I just got my doubts. I'm not holding out. Anime Heaven, what's happening, man? Crazy Greek Dude is in the house as well. Matt Burns is here. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Z Black Rider is here as well, man. We got a great chat here tonight. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you share this out. Spread the love. Just don't spread the COVID, right? Keep it locked down. Catch up on your backlog. Great time for that. Monkey Punch, Luger Hugo is in the house. What is happening? But anyway, we'll find out what's happening tomorrow. Any final thoughts, Primal?
Nope. I got nothing on this.
Cray Simmons, Hollywood is in the house, man. Yeah, brother, don't worry about it, man. I'm glad you could even pop in to say hello. Greatly appreciate it, brother. And we gotta play again soon. Same thing, Shane. If you can't, we do appreciate you stopping in here to say hello. Whether you're here for 1 minute, you're here for the whole show, or you catch up on the replay, we appreciate each and every one of you more than you'll ever know. And as I've always said, I don't need, I mean, I guess it gets easier, but we don't need super chats to give you guys acknowledgement. We love each and every one of you. And I hate it when I even miss acknowledging that you guys are here, because honestly, we wouldn't be here if you weren't here. So there you go. The blue one is buying the Series X day one. Anyone for Gears 5? Oh, I might be anime. I'm actually home tomorrow. So if you see me online, hit me up, brother. I got a few things to take care of, but count me in, bro, if that happens. Let's get down to some more topics here. Let's talk about, well, this is an interesting one based on everything we're seeing right now. What 3 games could tide you over if you were in quarantine for a long time? And I would definitely love to hear from the chat on this one as well. I'm going to start with Primal. I hope you had some time to think about it, Primal. But if you're stuck with 3 games, what 3 do you think could tide you over the most? I know that's a toughie.
I would need... Like I need to have different types of games. As long as the internet works, we can do multiplayer.
Okay.
Apex is definitely one of them. Witcher,
Apex.
It would be something that could hold me over. That's a lot of DLC. That's a lot of hours. And
So The Witcher 3?
Yeah.
Okay, Witcher 3.
And then I would need some type of RPG, and this is where I like. A JRPG. This is where I got stuck. I didn't know. I couldn't pick like a Final Fantasy. I couldn't pick like a Kingdom Hearts or anything. I don't know. Does Game Pass count?
There you go. 1, 2, and then Game Pass. Right. All right. Yeah, I guess that counts. You got Game Pass. You can play a lot of different things. That's fantastic. Right. I like your choices. Apex, I could probably live it up, but definitely love The Witcher because, like I said, you could replay that game and go about it differently. It's so much stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Hale, what's going on? Glad you can make it, Ron. Appreciate that. Spider-Man says Final Fantasy 15. Drew Zill was here. What's going on? No, Primal Eve is not guessing, bro. She's a co-host. I screwed up my intro to her tonight. It was kind of weird. Anime Heaven, Lost Odyssey, and Primal Eve. It sounds like he wants to play with you, Primal. Hey, if we can send him over to your house.
It's a long and complicated game. I'm automatically on like Legendary. So
she's been ill lately though, so she might be like playing Dr. Mario. I don't know. Yeah, man, if you're here for a few, it's all good. Crazy Greekus is Rocket League, Apex Legends, and Assassin's Creed. Rocket League is an interesting choice because that game, I don't really know if you'd ever get sick of that game. It's like as long as your internet holds up, I think you definitely have lots of fun watching it. Alex Bash is in the house. What's going on? We got the blue ones as Phantasy Star Online 2 for him. All right, well, here's my number one. I'm going to say Gears of War, but which one, right? Well, I'm going to say Gears of War Ultimate Edition because honestly, as much as I love the new ones, it's just that original campaign and that original visceral multiplayer like still feels right. It feels like Gears. So I want to say that one. So Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I'm going to say the new Call of Duty because I think I could play that for hours on end if I had a very good crew to roll with me. And oh boy, for the last one, honestly, when it comes, I'm going to go out on a limb and just maybe say like a puzzle game.
What? Get the fuck out of here!
Like a Tetris or a pinball game.
Okay.
Just because those games to me, like I can play for hours. They're not overly complicated, and I don't get sick of them. Like I love that one. You know what that was? A Pinball FX2.
Yeah, I could do a pinball game too because it's always something, just a pick up and leave type thing.
Not that kind of puzzle game, Spider-Man. No, we got that one mixed up. But like a Tetris-y kind of game, right? Like one of those things. The question, Jason Ellis, and welcome to the show, is what 3 games could keep you busy if you were in an extended quarantine? And this is assuming as well that your internet and all that shit is working just fine.
Right.
So, pinball games are one of those things. I just love playing them. They're one of those great distractions that when you just want to sit down and have mindless fun and just have a blast and not get too wrapped up and get into the next level, I don't know, something about them. I find them relaxing. I find them fun. I love that pinball effects, and you can buy the different tables, right? So shit like that is really, there's so many good games out there, but I'm just going to leave it that, because at least, like, I could say multiplayer games all day, but when you get kind of sick of just shooting,
By yourself, right?
NBA Jam is a good one. That one's always fun. Or one of the hockey games, like an NHL. I could probably play NHL over and over too. So he says Mario 64. There's an oldie bit of goodie. So yeah,
I have to have variety. I can't just have all shooters. That's why I don't know what my third game would be. That's really, really tough.
yeah, it is very tough. I'm just looking over at Twitter. Of course, I'm getting a bunch of crap from a certain side of the PlayStation. Yeah, the power is very important for Xbox fans since they don't have exclusives anymore. Oh God, that fucking word turns my stomach. Well, the bottom line is, fuckface, if you can't play it on PlayStation, it's exclusive to Xbox. Now, ain't it? That simple. There you go. Oh man, like that fucking argument is so fucking old. Xbox games. I'm gonna take some fucking games. I'm gonna turn them fucking discs up turn them sideways and shove them up your fucking ass. I swear to God, if I see that fucking shit in my chat here tonight, you get immediately kicked the fuck out. Because I'm so tired of that bullshit. But anyway, I got lots of games, man. Hey, I can also say PlayStation got no fucking multiplayer games. Because when was the last time fucking Sony made a fucking game that anybody played?
They don't even have like a real multiplayer like base whatsoever. I've tried for years, even back on the PlayStation 2 with my damn my network adapter and all that shit. The Sony does not have multiplayers. It's awful. That's why you don't even run into them anymore on Call of Duty or anything. They're all gone. They're just gone.
That's right, Alex Basha. If you smell what the noof is cooking, that's right.
But you know what, Noof? I was thinking about this the other day, and Ice-T also made a tweet about this too. I do kind of feel like playing The Division with this whole coronavirus thing going on. Like, I feel like, hey, this is real life right now, type thing. I do need to finish playing Division 2. That is a game I will be looking out for if anybody wants to play that.
Mario Kart, there's a go. You can never really get sick of Mario Kart. Something about that game is longevity, especially with the multiplayer. SOCOM, I agree with you, Shizno. If any of the Sony franchises should come back, I would love to see SOCOM. Resistance was a cool game too. And remember how Killzone was the Halo killer? Well, guess what? The only thing Killzone killed was itself. It's no longer around because the last one pretty much tanked hard and nobody really liked it. They were bored to death. Had great graphics, but it didn't have substance. Isn't that funny how that works? Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, I know, man. There's lots of turd burglars out there, low end, average gaming. It's hard to ignore them sometimes because it's like they only come out of the woodwork when you have something weird and negative to say about their preferred platform. I don't jump into other people's timelines. You can go check that out. I don't search the internet waiting for someone to downplay Xbox. Well, fuck, if I was doing that, I'd be on people's pages all day long because they're always fucking shitting on Xbox.
It's so stupid. Right? It doesn't matter. Like I love Xbox. I love Sony. I love Nintendo. The best system in the whole entire world to me will always be the PlayStation 2. It's where I always had the best memories and always the best games to me. That doesn't mean I hate, like, I'll talk shit on Xbox just as much as I'll talk shit on Sony. I have no loyalty or anything like that. I'm in it for the games, and I don't understand why people are so butthurt over that. It's so stupid.
Totally. Look at Primal dropping the knowledge in here. Let's get on to another topic, and let's talk about Sonic. That's a positive. Sonic the Hedgehog movie has now become the highest grossing video game movie domestically, and that's saying something because we've seen a lot of video game movies, and even the fact that it's actually beaten Detective Pikachu at the box office impresses the hell out of me. They said, thank God they went back to the drawing board and they redid Sonic. They actually made him look and, like Sonic, because that original Abomination, we talked about that before. I'm not going to beat it to death, but are you impressed with that, Primal? What do you think it actually means for this franchise and for video game movies going forward?
There's some hope that we can actually have decent video game movies. But then again, if you also think about it, there's so many more people who are proclaimed gamers nowadays. There's video gaming is such a huge a huge thing more now than it was before. So it's almost wondering, hey, if all of these cheesy ass movies that we had before, if they came out now, how would they do? Probably bad, but there'd probably still be a lot more viewers. So it kind of gives me hope that maybe that this will be a positive trend. And also, hey, listen to the people that actually know about, you know, the way things should be versus that creature thing that they came out with the
Right.
original with the original production of Sonic. Yeah, that was definitely a smart move on them to fix that. But no, it's
Yeah.
definitely like I take note, guys.
Can
If you
you imagine, like I said, how bad you think this movie would have flopped if they'd have left that original design, considering
oh,
the
it would be
outrage
like
it caused?
straight to bootleg is what it would have been. Honestly, I just it would have been yeah.
Whoever made that original decision, I say, should have been fired, and whoever fucking fixed it should have got a raise.
And I hope this wasn't like the movie that Jim Carrey was looking forward to like bring back his career or anything, because that wouldn't be a smart move either. Poor guy. Ugh.
Bastion 76 on Xbox. Right on, bro. Yeah, man. Jago Coogan is in the house. What's going on, my friend Jago? Doom Eternal is day one for Jago. Awesome. Yeah, who's picking up Doom Eternal this weekend? I know I am not. I may get it eventually, but it is not in my cards for this week. And I haven't even got enough money for the super chats yet, so I can't even withdraw it. So that's kind of a bummer. Just saying. I know what I'm buying this weekend if I can afford it. I'm going to see what I can do. Actually, I have some credit on my EB Games card, so I'll probably put it toward that this week. We'll see. Well, Primal gives everybody a raise, bro. Just most of us don't get it on the paycheck. You know what I mean? Are you planning to buy that game
I'm
at all?
poor, Noof.
Yes.
I can't buy games.
Guys, feel free. You know, if you're gonna drop some bucks, don't even drop in the super pet. Maybe PayPal fucking Primal a few dollars so she can play some of these games while she's bored the fuck out of her mind. You know, just wait for the stimulus package. That's right. Yes, the old government stimulus package. What would that be, like $2? You know, the Justin Trudeau special up here in fucking Canada. What a fucking nerd that guy is. Oh my god. Hey, well, pretty soon I got to get my taxes done, so we'll see how that pans out after, like I said, after the house is straightened away here. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna take shit for this one, I know, but you know what? I'm actually wanting to buy this weekend. I don't know if anybody else in the
Animal
chat.
Crossing?
Yes, I want Animal Crossing, and I don't know why, but it looks kind of cool. And I've looked at some reviews. I am serious. I actually want to
shit!
play that.
I was joking.
No, I'm serious. I actually want to play it, and it looks cool. It looks fun. It looks like a great distraction game from all of the other crap that I've been playing.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Super Chat works. Dreadpool dropping toonie up in here.
Oh,
that's up in Canada because we call it toonies. It's a $2 coin. Toonies. And our dollar bill is called loonies, which makes sense because we're Canadian and we're all kind of loony up here. We live in a cold country, right? Yeah, Super Chat does work. Thanks, Dreadpool. Greatly appreciate that, brother. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I'm actually tempted to get Anybody else buying Animal Crossing or Doom this weekend? Jago's like, Animal Crossing can't even be bothered with that shit. Well, first of all, Jago, you got to have a Nintendo Switch to play Animal Crossing. Hey, sometimes when I get my wife pissed off, she's like an animal crossing over my vision. Didn't you sell your Switch, a loony? Yeah, man, I did get rid of my Switch, and guess what? I just recently sold my PlayStation and bought another Switch. Newfonomics at its finest, baby. It is gone. I'm down to 2 consoles only. The Xbox One X, while I do have the Xbox One S, and so I have 2 Xboxes and a Switch now. How about that? Here you go. And yes, I'm going to play Animal Crossing. So I am ridiculous. Newfonomics at its finest, people. Titan Drago was on the Twitter today. He's like, he said something about my Stormtrooper helmet. When am I going to put it up for bid into Newfonomics? And I said to him, true. Newfonomics only works with me when it comes to PlayStation and Nintendo. I generally keep my Xboxes. They never leave. It's just the other 2 that I can never decide on. So there you go. That tells you right there that I am a fucking Xbox fan. True and true. Yeah. Nintendo, well, like I said, Nintendo ain't what they used to be, but I still enjoy the distraction. And most importantly, I have the Switch because I like the fact I can take the games on the go. That is the big thing for me, man. So, hey, man, that's what happens when you don't have enough money to just kind of go buy what you want. When you get rid of one, you need money for another one, and there you go. You trade it in. I already had some people say, well, why didn't you just put your trade on like the Xbox Series X? Well, I'm not 100% convinced I actually want one yet. But anyway, Jason L says, Canucks are cool. Newfoundnomics 101. All right. But anyway, so that's good for Sonic. Personally, for the movie, I'm happy that it did well because honestly, we've had such a run of really bad video game adaptations. And most important, a lot of them, even when they were half decent, didn't exactly light the box office on fire. So, I mean, first of all, it's a movie that appeals to the older Sonic fans. And it also, probably there's a lot of new Sonic fans of Sonic after watching the movie, and that's great. We saw how the Witcher TV show, for example, how that reignited sales of the game a lot. So that's pretty awesome, and it brought new fans into the series of the game. So that's fantastic. And I think the same will happen with Sonic. Again, the old fans will want to check it out, and the new fans as well might watch this movie, buy some of the games. Mind you, if you're not buying the Sonic games, I'm not going to blame you because the last one that was really good was probably Sonic Mania. But I got to say, I just recently picked up Sonic. What do you call it? The Force Unleashed? Or not? No, Sonic Forces. Yeah, Sonic Forces.
Xbox
Star Wars.
360.
Yeah, no, Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah. We just made up our own game.
Sonic Unleashed, that was 360, but I recently just bought Sonic Forces. I'm actually enjoying it. I thought that was pretty good. I love the mix match. It's sort of the 3D stuff with the 2D. The graphics are pretty cool. It's a lot of fun, actually. So I'm enjoying that. And apparently, if you're a fan of Sonic right now and you got Xbox Live games with gold, you can get Sonic Generations right now, which has a little bit of that as well. I definitely heard, I have never played it, but I heard it's worth a download. So for you Sonic fans, go pick it up if you have never played it. There you go. Shizzo reading my mind. You just gave it that game. Low end average gaming, I have all three, and a mid-range PC because I can't stay away from shiny toys. Indeed, man. No matter where you game, it's a good time to be a gamer indeed. So, and thank God we're gamers because with pretty much everything being closed down right now, that's pretty much all we can do. So let's play games, right? There you have it. So anyway, I think it's good that Sonic movies are doing well. But yeah, we're going to move on from that. Let's get into our next topic, and where are we at? What's our next topic of the night? Well, we want to talk about Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Yeah. Apparently, it's got great reviews. People are loving it. I've seen multiple videos of various levels of people playing it. They seem to be really enjoying it. So have you had a chance to play Will of the Wisps Primal? And what do you think of this Xbox game getting really high scores?
I think it's good for them to have like the Sony downers kind of like shut up for a minute about a game. I'm sure they'll find something else wrong with it. But no, I think it's great. I know the first one was very successful. I wasn't able to finish beating that one yet, so I am still looking into playing this current one. But it kind of it makes me feel good. It warms my heart for Microsoft for them to have a high scoring game to kind of put the other guys down.
Well, absolutely. But, you know, the first thing you're going to hear the other crowd say, well, it's like an indie game. Like, it's, you know,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a game. So
yeah. It's a great game. It's got a great story. The graphics are absolutely jaw-dropping beautiful. In the chat, obviously, there's a lot of love for Ori. Shizno says it's freaking awesome. Timothy says he's loving it. Alex Bashes is quality game. Spider-Man Ori 2 is great. You know, so a lot of love for Ori in the chat. I'm hearing great things. I might end up picking up both of those games eventually. I think they definitely are on my get list. It's just when. I just originally, just a couple nights ago, believe it or not, finally played a little bit of Ori. What's the first game called? And what's the first one called? Ori. Anyway, the first fucking Ori game. I played the fucking demo on my Switch, and it runs and looks great on the Switch too. So I played that, and it actually was a lot of fun. So that has me stoked.
And the Blind Forest.
Blind Forest, yes. Well, I'm like the blind idiot over here.
Yeah.
The Blind Forest. Everybody's like chiming in. Philly Eagle, what's going on, brother? Thanks for being here. Greatly appreciated. Shinsia is in the chat. What's happening, Shinsia? There you go. Got another couple of regulars up in here. Yeah, so that game does seem really cool. I definitely want to check it out. I'll try to get it eventually. Low End says it's not his jam. He's happy to see people enjoying it. I agree with you, man. Whether it's not your jam or not, just to see people getting sheer joy and pleasure out of this game, and to see that, you know, that you can tell that there's a lot of love and attention to detail that went into Ori, and that's nice because people are showing it to the devs. This is not a game they slapped together for a quick buck. This is, it's a labor of love, and it's nice, like I said, that finally it's a game that, gets a lot of love from the media and the fans alike without a lot of the people always bash it, yes, but people bought it, so that's yeah, absolutely. Timothy, buy it twice, man. Play it on the Switch. Apparently, you can get like achievements on the Switch version, which I didn't know. So, they carry over to Xbox, which is cool. At least I think they do.
What? That's neat.
Yeah, they have like built-in achievements. They don't pop up on the Nintendo Switch like bloop, that Xbox, but they say like achievement, and I heard they unlock on the Xbox. So if that's true, that's kind of a bonus too if you didn't pick up on the Xbox version. So yeah. Absolutely. If Ori 2 comes to Switch, more people get to play it, more power to it. But I think it was Aaron Greenberg a while back said Ori 2 was not going to be. Now I could be wrong, but I know he was saying something about like Xbox exclusives moving forward were not going to be on PlayStation or Switch. Outside of probably Minecraft, I don't expect to see any of these other games. Did you finish Sekiro, Shinsia? Nice, because Shinsia says he says I finished Sekiro. I traded in the game. I tried that boss again the other day, and he pissed me off so much. I said, "Fuck it, I'm not even going to bother with it." And I can promise you this: this is 100% guaranteed. I will never buy another From Software game. I've learned my fucking lesson. I played 3 of them now, and I fucking hate them all. So I'm done with fucking From Software games. I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't have the fucking patience to play them. I'm sorry. Maybe I suck, but I don't care. That's not my jam. I get it. Challenge is good, but not when I'm swearing at the TV constantly and I want to break my controller. That motherfucking drop kicking fucking to the left and you move to the fucking right and somehow he seems to kick the shit out of you in the mid fucking air. I can't stand cheap ass bosses when there's fucking coding put into the game. Like that shit pisses me off. But anyway, that's enough rant. I'm getting pissed off even just thinking about that fucking game. Like, fuck off. Hopefully that Ghost of Tsushima is not like that at all. Because honestly, I might even pick up another PlayStation to play that fucking thing. But it better not be like that game at all. But no, I mean, to each their own. Like I said, I'm not knocking Sekiro. I think the game is amazing in so many ways, but it's just not my fucking kind of game. That's all I'm going to say. Like, everybody likes different things. That's not one of my jams, man. I just don't have the patience to go back to like 8-bit games. I tried going back to them too. Back in the day, right. I was awesome at them and I would play them for hours. But back in the day, like, we didn't have the save points. We didn't checkpoints. We didn't have a lot of things we have now. Once you get used to that, it's hard to go back because it's like, oh, I got 3 lives and I got to beat this whole fucking game on 3 lives. Back then, you didn't think about it. You died. Okay, well, I'm back to level 1. I'll start again, right? And you do it, repeat, rinse, repeat until you get better and finally beat the game. I don't have the patience for that shit anymore. Maybe with some of these new consoles where you can do the save anywhere shit, that's a big help. But I can't do this 3 lives and a couple hits and you're fucking done and starting over bullshit. No, not for me. Ace Chunky is in the chat. What's going on, Ace? Glad to see you here, man. Hope you're doing well. Brian Harris, what's happening, brother? Yeah, but Cuphead's, I don't know, Cuphead's hard, but it's different for me. I find that one way more enjoyable, if that makes any fucking sense. What's my jam? Gears of War, man. 3rd-person shooters, Call of Duty, stuff like that. That's my jam. I like shooters. I like games with a challenge, but it's moderated challenge, not just kind of like, hey, it's cool to fucking beat a game that's got all this extra challenge when it doesn't, I want to see stories in game. I like story shit. I like to fucking play it and finish it. I don't see the point in buying a game that 90% of me knows I'll never finish. That's just pointless. Mega Bad Seed is in the house. What's going on? Anyway, Primal, didn't mean to fucking ramble on here.
Oh, you're fine. Ramble away.
Starting to get dry mouth over here. But anyway, let's get back to the topics. Ori, there you go. Any final thoughts on Ori? You say you haven't played the second one yet, right?
Right. So
are you planning to pick it up though? At some point? Maybe.
It's in Game Pass.
Oh yeah, Game Pass. And you have Game Pass, right? Okay, so you're good to go there. There you go. See a benefit of Game Pass, because even when you pretty much broke his ass, you can still fucking play games.
I can still play some games. Yeah.
Amen to that. She is living proof right there, guys, of why Game Pass is such a blessing to most people, especially when you can play the latest and greatest.
Us poor folk. Yeah.
Hey, we all go through tough times. I go through my fair fucking share. Trust me. I have times when I don't have a dime. There's other times when I can squeeze it a little bit. There's other times when I got left over, and I think we're all like that.
Mhm.
How about for movies? What are movies or your favorite food snacks? If you're going into a quarantine, I mean, what couple of movies would you like to
Right.
take with you? And maybe like a favorite snack to take into a quarantine.
I'm not like really big on movies. Like I've watched millions and millions of movies. Like, and I thought about this for a while today. Like I was thinking about maybe Shaun of the Dead, like because I absolutely love that movie. But then I was just thinking like I'd rather just binge watch a show or over a movie. And then I thought about it, and then it was like instantly. I have this obsession with Law and Order. So if I could have like every season of Law and Order and Law and Order SVU, that's all I need. I don't really need anything else. And then snack food, like food, I fucking if I could just have steak, just give me meat all day. All kinds of meat. I will take it.
Oh, there's a couple guys in the chat that'd love to give you meat all day.
Yeah, just I bring me the meat and some water, teas. I love
She
tea.
doesn't like to choke on the meat, guys.
No, that's all. And like pizza. If I could have meat and pizza, I'll
Pizza.
be just happy. I'll be good. And liquid. Give me liquid.
There you go. Honestly, for me, my movie, honestly, if I'm going to be stuck with anything to watch over and over again, I got to say the Batman Dark Knight trilogy because that's my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
If I had that and the Lord of the Rings movies, I think I could be totally happy. That's all I need. If it was a TV show, give me Game of Thrones. I could probably watch that 100 times.
Yeah.
Love Game of Thrones so much. I'm actually rewatching the series again right now. Shaun of the Dead, that is a great movie. That's a lot of laughs. So Game of Thrones and Batman, I'm good on movies. As far as food, you know what? Honestly, nothing satisfies me more often than not than like good salty chips. Now, I vary day to day with chips, so it's hard to say. Like, I don't know if I have a one chip that I could eat day in and day out.
Are you talking chips?
Potato chips.
Okay, potato chip. Like because I've had so many conversations. Chips are two different things. Whether it's the chip or if it's the fucking French fry.
Sometimes up here people say fish and chips, which means usually means French fries.
Yeah, that's fries.
I'm talking about a bag of salty ass potato chips.
Yeah. See, I love stacks. I have an addiction to stacks. I need those too.
Drew Zilma's asking how you're single. Well, there you go. That's a little secret for you, Drew. Maybe you'll have to send her a message privately. You never know. Yeah. What else have we got here? Sign me up with pineapple on the pizza, right? Blech. I mean, if it was food, like food itself, like I could probably eat chicken, like good chicken. You know what I mean? Good fried chicken. I could probably eat that almost fucking every day. A couple pieces here and there. My favorite would be, and you Americans wouldn't get this, but it's called the Mary Browns. I don't know if you guys ever had it.
The fuck?
But if you come to Canada, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, I love the slogan for the old Mary Browns because it used to be Mary Brown's best legs in town, and it's awesome. It's like a Canadian version of Popeyes essentially, but doesn't taste anything like Popeyes. I'm just saying, like the franchise, it's actually based out of Newfoundland and Labrador originally, and it's kind of over the years it's taken across Canada. It's a very special recipe. They don't do the fries aren't especially they do like the potato wedgies. We call them taters, and it's fucking amazing. So if you never had a Mary Brown's, guys, and you come to Canada, please try it. I think you'll love it. It's fucking fantastic. They have an amazing chicken burger too. It's called the Big Mary Sandwich. It's so good.
What's the Mary, man? Okay.
Yeah, the Big Mary, and it's good. Yeah, yeah, nice plump, juicy, marinated pieces of chicken. Yeah. So there you go. That's some of our stuff. And as we're getting ready to close the show, didn't I say I had another topic that I wanted to mention? I can't remember what it was. Or did I get to that already? Oh, Reggie, we got one more topic, and then we're going to talk about we got Primal's question. So Reggie feeds me. I never got to talk about this last week, but he apparently he didn't stay retired very long. Looks like GameStop, sorry, has hired him. Now I can't remember the fucking position he was hired for, but it is a big position, and it looks promising. So yeah, he's like, I don't know if he's the head of the marketing or sort of like a CEO kind of deal, but obviously to bring in a guy with Reggie's clout, they probably paid a ton of money, and they're probably hoping that his insight on gaming it might help turn the tides for GameSpot or GameStop. Sorry, so
that's already being forgotten.
Primal used to work at the store. Primal, what do you think of Reggie's jumping in here and filling some big shoes and hopefully maybe turning the tides for this franchise, which has definitely fallen on harder times?
I think somebody needs to do something, and what Reggie has done with Nintendo, which actually Nintendo has pretty much done for themselves. I think if he could figure out a way, I don't know what he's gonna do. I had this kind of thought out in my head and stuff, and it's just like if he could create a way to make people want to continue to come there, if there's a reason besides just the video games, if there's something else that he can do, I say do it, because GameStop's dying. It is. It's like they did stay afloat when they started doing, like, the other merchandise with like the toys and the shirts and stuff like that. I remember when towards the end of my job working there was when they started doing the cell phones and the tablets and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck this. This isn't the store that I wanted to work for. Like, this isn't the direction I was trying to go in. And they were grasping then, and I hope he can find a way for them to do something to hang on for people's jobs and shit.
So, Primal, outside of obviously the people's, the digital era, so to speak, having the largest impact on them, what do you think some of their biggest mistakes were? I mean, I have numerous theories, but I want to hear you, because like I said, you work there, you know the ins and outs of their program and how things work. So what do you think is the biggest, and I think you kind of alluded to one with the cell phones and stuff, but why do you think was a lot of their drop off as well, besides the whole digital thing?
Just the pressure, the pricing, obviously, selling everything $5 less than buying a new item. Come on. It didn't make sense at all. Pre-ordering items and stuff like that definitely became a downfall because everything was digital. You don't have to pre-order a damn digital game, do you?
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be available for you. A lot of some of like the bonuses that we used to do for actually pre-ordering went downhill too, like our actual exclusive special edition things that became no longer great. It's just that definitely the digital purchasing killed it, the pricing killed it, the marketing killed it. They tried and they tried. It's just it wasn't cohesive with the way that video gaming was going. But like I said before, they did have, it was definitely a smart move to pick up on the actual merchandise. The things that we can't necessarily go to like Walmart or wherever to buy, like the pops. They have their own exclusive pops, their own exclusive clothing and stuff. That's great. If they can take that and roll with it, just turn the whole entire store into a merchandise store.
Right.
I think that would be great, and I think that they could become successsul that way.
If they're going to just emphasize the digital cards the whole time, they might as well, right?
Right. Well, they recently they stopped doing the discount cards. They're no longer doing some of the discounts. I was talking to, because I get bored at work. I'm far from home. I have like a 30-minute, 40-minute drive. So during my breaks at work, I'll go hang out with the guys at GameStop and we'll just bullshit and stuff. But they're just saying like they are losing a lot of what keeps them alive. So I really hope Reggie can find something. There's no reason to go in. Why walk into a store when you can order your games online, your systems online,
Yes.
everything else online. You don't have to leave your home whatsoever nowadays. Yes, it is nice to be face to face with somebody and talk to somebody, but how many times have you gone somewhere into a game store and the person had zero knowledge whatsoever? They're only there to try and sell you something. They have zero passion about what it is that they're trying to sell. It's difficult to have that interaction with somebody too. It's a major turnoff. Them hiring staff was really shitty too.
Right. Yeah, there's a million different things. I mean, I think that Reggie's not going to have an easy battle, and can he turn his ship around? And it's on more than just him. It's not on his shoulders whether they fail or not. A lot of it's largely due how they move forward. And I think a big part of this, and I've said this on previous podcasts, is that they have to work with the games industry instead of trying to cutthroat them all and sort of leaving them with no share of the pie.
Mhm.
They need to be going to Microsoft, going to Sony, going to the publishers, and asking them, look, I know what our place was in the past, but we want to still survive in this digital era. We still want to have a store. We still want to sell your products, but we
Right.
need to know from you guys how we can do that benefits us, but also benefits you. So, for example, you're going to continue, obviously, the largest margins are used games. Well, perhaps, you know what, at least give those guys a cut of these games, and perhaps in turn they give you some sort of in-store bonus that maybe you can only get by going into the store to buy the game, whether it's digitally to buy the game or you buy it physically, but as a bonus and an incentive to go into the store. Now, some of the guys in the chat, but let's catch up with the super chats. First, Ace Junkie dropping $2. He says, gaming brings everyone together no matter where you are. Very true. And Axel drops $1.99. He says, great show, guys. I greatly appreciate it, guys, and I certainly appreciate the super chat. It's greatly appreciated. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody in the chat here that I didn't give a shout out to? I think I caught up with everybody. Brian Harris is here. I'm not sure if I mentioned Brian, but welcome to the show, guys. I hope everybody's enjoying it so far. So, like I don't know what Reggie, how he's going to do, because I mean, he obviously knows how Nintendo's done it, and Nintendo does things very differently, and maybe that's why they brought Reggie in, just because Nintendo does things so differently and still succeeds in a business. But that doesn't necessarily work for the games industry in terms of selling. Now, here's my problems with the store. Okay, I still love up here at CB Games. They're owned by GameStop. But up in Canada, EB Games used to call them Electronics Boutique for many years before they sort of rebranded, just called EB Games. That's a lot easier to say. Free Jack, thanks for the $10 super chat, brother. Greatly appreciate it. What the HE double hockey sticks have you done trading in your PS4 before The Last of Us 2? I don't know, bro. I think I'm losing my marbles. But hey, you know me, Newfoundnomics. Perhaps I'll own one again pretty soon. You never know. Maybe like my fifth PlayStation.
Oh, I know, right?
Hopefully it's backwards compatible with PlayStation 5. Or maybe I'll just wait and get the 5, right? So here's a couple of things. I get it. They're subsidizing this store with the toys. I get it. You know what? I actually buy a lot of toys from those guys. Bought like those Ninja Turtle figures, and every once in a while they have some really cool shit there that you can't get out of the store. And the best part about it, even while we look at it and still say, well, it's kind of overpriced, trust me, buying your figures from EB is a lot cheaper than going to those specialty shops to sell it, because they mark them at nearly double. It's crazy. Like, I'll buy a figure at them, it's $30, and I'm still going, well, that's kind of pricey for a 7-inch figure. But fuck, I go to the specialty shops like 3 months later at these shows, and they're like fucking almost double the price. I'm like, well, somebody's gouging, and then they wonder why they can't get rid of these things. So I get I get that part of the store. But here's what I don't like with the current model. I don't like that their new games now are basically nowhere to be seen. When I used to go there first, the new games were prominently displayed on the shelves behind the till where you could see them, and you could actually see the amount of copies you would have of these games. They'd have them stacked, right? You wanted the game, hey, I want that game, boom. Now, I know they still have new games, but the way that they do their store is very deceptive, because they kind of hide them away. They'll put them out coming soon or just in store, but it's this little rack off to the side. They put all the used stuff out. So when people walk in the store, the average customer thinks that's all they have. So they just pick up the used game, go to the till. And I want to support publishers, and I want to support the developers. And I'm not doing that if I'm buying the game used. That's not helping the industry. It's helping GameStop's bottom line, their dollar. And I get it. They want to stay in business too. But hey, I'm there to buy my new games. I want my new games. I don't want my new games with a fucking wrapper on them too. That's another thing that pissed me off. They always seem to sell me the game towards you. Oh, that's our last copy, and it's not in a wrapper. Like, I don't get that. Am I buying a new game
with their
or is
last
it
copy?
the
Because
last copy? We have it out on the shelf. Some of them
not even that, because back in the day, I'm sure they still do it now. we as employees could check out brand new games. We could
Right.
try them out, play them, bring them back, still sell them as new,
Right.
and those would be the open copies.
Oh, makes fucking sense. I get it now, but I that's happened to me more than once.
Uh-huh.
Lately, I've been going to various stores to find, uh, and it's getting worse with Xbox because obviously because of Game Pass and the digital side, I'm pretty sure that they're also kind of slamming Xbox because they're not ordering near as many copies, and I kind of get it.
Mhm.
Xbox is largely digital, even more so than PlayStation. Again, because of Game Pass and its popularity, they're not stocking up on as many games. But I've been trying to get that Plague's Tale in their fucking store, and every time I go
Mm,
to this one location, never have it, never have it, never have it. But this
right.
PlayStation copy, but no Xbox, and I'm like, I don't want it on PlayStation. I want it on an Xbox.
Mhm.
That pisses me off, right? Like all the time, and it's getting worse. It's like pretty soon I won't be able to get any of the games I want because they're not going to carry them unless it, the digital. The other thing, these guys know me. They had a lot of the same staff for years. Most of them know me now when I walk into the store. They know who the fuck I am. I don't know if they know my name, but they know who I am. And they continue to fucking ask me if I want that fucking game warranty. And I keep saying no. Like at some point, why do you ask me? You know I don't buy it. So stop asking me. Are you guys fucking stupid or what? I spent thousands of dollars. You keep asking me to buy your game warranty or your console. I get it. That's their mission. That's their motto. If they want to pull that shit on the regular fan walking through the door, I get it. But I'm a regular. They know who I am. They know my face. And they continue to ask me when I've proven time and time again, my shit's immaculate condition. I have never once needed it for a console. I mean this. Never once. Never needed it for. I've never needed that shit for anything I bought because I buy it fucking new and I look after it. It's not. I don't use my games as coasters. I don't have them all over the floor. I don't scratch shit. I look after my stuff. My shit goes out of when I sell my stuff and I bring it back to the store, these motherfuckers can't even tell if it's been used. It's that good shape. I got the boxes, I got the manuals. There's no scratches, there's no gunk, there's no crap on it. Might be a little dust here and there, but my shit is immaculate. But anyway, they keep asking, and that drives me nuts. I'm like, I don't want your warranty because I get it. I understand how it can benefit me if I need it, but most often, most of that money is just money in their pocket for nothing. Right? I understand you're a little snot-nosed kid, can't keep your fucking hands off shit and you're scratching shit. I get it. But for me, I don't need it. So stop asking. That drives me bonkers. There's 100 different reasons with those guys that drive me nuts. But I get it because I know the numbers. I used to have to do it too when I worked at Staples. Every morning you go into the store, there was an emphasis on selling like pre-sales, and there's an emphasis on getting attachments of PCs and stuff, to help the bottom line. And they're driven by that too. I know they are. They're not commissioned in the store. At least I'm having looks like some loading issue. Can you guys still hear me? Please drop a yes in the chat. Just want to make sure that you guys still hear me at least, because I'm having some weird loading issue on my end here as well. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Digital is easy. I totally get what you're saying. Okay. And I do get that. I mean, there's times when I'm sitting on my couch and I want to change a game, some of the digital ones I have downloaded, and I go, oh, I got this game digitally. It's so easy. I just go over, select it, press a button. Don't have to get up. And I totally get that. But you know what? I'm still a collector. I'm still a collector. I like to have the physical, tangible stuff in my hand. Drives me nuts now because one of the things that they're doing these days is they're making these like the game case, but there's still no game in it, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. Like I'm going to get a digital copy of the game, but I'm still going to get a physical case. They're talking about doing that somewhere. I don't know where it was, but I'm like, it's kind of cool. Makes you still feel like you got something tangible, but you still don't have the game. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Hopefully Primal comes back because we're just getting ready to get ready for her question of the night. But I'm not going to leave this much longer. We'll get out of here, guys. Drop for a second. Yeah, there's something funky going on here. But hey, Casket Repair, what's going on, brother? Thanks for stopping in. Back from the dead, what's going on? Rainy Days is in the chat. Matt Burns. Thank you guys for being here. Greatly appreciated. Over 30 at one point watching tonight. Greatly appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I collect stuff. I'm a collector. I'm a physical, tangible guy. I haven't bought Game Pass yet. And as I've said, I probably will get Game Pass eventually. It's not because I hate it or I don't think it's value. It's just not for me because of the kind of gamer that I am. But as xCloud becomes more popular and I travel more, I'll probably want to take my games on the go. And there's no really better system than to have Game Pass where I can have access to multiple titles without needing any hard drive or storage. Because if there's one thing that kind of sucks about portable gaming, and it kind of does suck about being a cartridge owner on Switch, is when you buy the cartridges, then you still have to have them in a case. You have to carry them around. If you're carrying them in the cases themselves, that gets bulky. If you're putting them in a case, you can only carry so many, blah, blah, blah. So, and they can get broke, they can get dirty, you can lose them. They're not overly big. That hasn't happened to me, but I'm sure it does happen to people. So there's those benefits. Like for digital stuff itself, it totally makes sense when it comes to portable gaming, and it's definitely going to be useful for me if and when I jump into the xCloud and I get all that stuff. So, I want to try out Blessed Unleashed game, man. They look fucking fantastic. Phantasy Star, I don't know if I'd like so much. It's more of a turn-based RPG, I think, but I'll definitely try out Blessed Unleashed for sure if I get a chance. So, play the games offline would definitely be cool, Dreadpool, because we know that the internet can be skippy, just like it was a few seconds ago. But anyway, I don't want to beat GameStop to death. Hopefully I didn't say something and maybe offended Primal, because I know she used to work there, but I don't think that's the case. I think she's probably had some shitty internet or something. But yeah, anyway, I still buy physical. I'm going to continue to do so until, again, I don't have that option anymore. So there you have it. I'm going to get down to Primal's question tonight. We'll get out of here. Would certainly love to hear your thoughts on it. Her question was, and it's not near as dirty as I thought it was going to be. Let's see. I kind of had a bit of a naughty question, but I'll leave it. What are your essentials if you're stuck at home? So obviously, because of the quarantine, it's action. Oh, that's good, because I don't like that turn-based stuff at all. I might have to give it a try now. Okay, sounds good. Great. Her question. So what are your essentials when you're stuck at home? Would love to hear everybody's thing in the chat. Could be things like what do you need when you're stuck in the house? What could you not be without? It's a board games, video games, certain types of food, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, for me, it's, I got to have my pop. I'm a sucker for soda pop. I love my Pepsi. I'm a Pepsi guy more than Coke. Sorry to you Coke drinkers, but I like Pepsi better than Coke. Potato chips. There's just something about potato chips, man. That salty addiction right there that I love. And obviously Xbox, because outside of my wife keeping me busy with different things, I couldn't really live without gaming. And that's the one thing I think everybody in this chat would agree. We couldn't live without gaming. We need to have our consoles. Otherwise, I think a lot of us would go freaking nuts. I know I would. I don't have a guitar anymore. I sold my guitars a while back. I'm going to get one eventually, but I definitely need my gaming, need my chips, and my pop. I think I could be okay with that. And hey, if the wife is still around, well, I got her for the old dick cleanser, right? Food, water, soap, games, and that's it. Yes, food, water, and soap. Soap is good, especially these days. You definitely got to wash up. Rainy Day says my gun. You might need that with the way the world's going right now, let me tell you, because there's people pulling off some crazy shit out there. Brian says, I'm disabled, retired. The whole quarantine thing for me is a breeze. Brian Harris has been prepared for this a long time. He's like, yeah, this shit's going to be easy. I'm home anyway. Totally, man. I think if you're a really social person, this is harder for me. I'm sort of like, I'm a social guy, but I don't really go out and associate much in public kind of thing. Like I'm not overly social in public. Like I don't really like going places a lot of the time. I like to be home, that sort of thing. So I don't think I'm having as much of a problem with as other people. Like some people, they just can't handle it. They can't go out to the mall and they can't do those things, right? So yeah, it always happens, guys. I always lose Primal right before the end of the show here. That's it. We never get to finish. Food, oh my God, coffee. Yeah, coffee is essential too, isn't it? Food, coffee, and tech. Yeah, man, the coffee's great, isn't it? Especially in the mornings, you're trying to wake the fuck up. Something about, introvert going to be a breeze. Totally, brother, totally. Well, anyway, guys, that is it for the show tonight. It's been a great one. Glad to have Primal here for the majority of it this time around. She definitely appreciates all your support, your concerns, your questions, and all that. But I was also going to say, just before I finish, guys, and here's one for some of you guys maybe in the chat. There's a good possibility in the next while that we're going to add a third member to our panel. Yes, you heard right. We're thinking of a third panel member. And I'll tell you why. Well, with between Primal's health and the fact that, her internet and stuff, and she's kind of, it's been a little wish-washy of her making the show week in and week out. And I don't like to put the pressure on people to be a guest at the last minute. So I think a third would definitely come in handy. I mean, three's company, right? Four is a crowd, but three is a good number for podcasts. You get lots of different opinions. You can still have a guest, and the panel is not too big. Yes, I said member. So we're looking to add somebody, I think. Now, here's what I want from you guys, and you can do this on Twitter if you like, or you can drop it here, is I want you to suggest some people who you think would fit in well with me and Primal. Maybe suggest some names. And when we get enough names, what I'll probably do is then we'll kind of take a community consensus, sort of like a vote. And if that person's good, then we'll make them a permanent, a permanent member, or that sort of thing like that. So, no previous experience required. You don't have to be big in the community. Well, I don't like to say this, but I'm going to have to say it. I really don't, not to sound like I'm going to be part of the whole, what do you call it? The echo chamber, but I don't want any rude PlayStation style people, because I don't want to be fucking butting heads all night, and I don't want to be telling people to shut the fuck up. Because a lot of the PlayStation guys are too fucking stupid for me personally, too ignorant. So, not all of them. But I don't mind someone if they prefer PlayStation, they have a PlayStation, because I used to have PlayStation. I like PlayStation too. But I want someone that can talk about PlayStation equally and fairly. You can also do that with Xbox without being like a raging fanboy and all that bullshit, right? So I want to get somebody sensible. I want to get somebody who can articulate. I don't want memes. I don't want I don't want the mute people, because you get a few of those get into podcasts and they can't speak. They're all fine and dandy in the chat, and they get on a podcast and they forget that they're on a fucking podcast. Like, yeah. So Dreadpool is definitely a fantastic guy. We've had him on before, and he would definitely be a fantastic choice. But like I said, I'll get everybody's consensus, and perhaps next week that's what we'll do. So we'll drop a bunch of names. Looks like Dreadpool's already off to a good start here based on the chat. They're already dropping his name, and Dreadpool's no stranger to podcasts. He's also been on my podcast before. But I don't want to put any obligations on people, and if they're already doing podcasts, adding another one might be kind of tough. So that really, Bloody Knuckles is pretty good. Bloody can definitely rant really well, and he's very well versed in tech and with anime stuff. That's for sure. Phil Spencer would be great, wouldn't it? Man, I mean, have record numbers every show, but I don't think Phil would care for my type of humor. I'm sure he wouldn't dislike me as a person, but just the way I conduct myself on some of these podcasts, he probably wouldn't care for. A little bit too much fanboy, I suppose, for Phil and the way they're going. It's they don't like to be dickish, right? I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm putting this out there, there's no chance I'd have So Shady. That's definitely a no. And I'll leave it at that. Wilmy would be fantastic as well. Wilmy's a good guy. Like I said, we're guys that know too much on their plate, because it's tough to do. Trust me, once you get past like 2 or 3 podcasts a week, this shit starts to get taxing. You start to get tired. That's the problem. When you do too much, you start to lose your passion for podcasting, right? That's what happens, because you get there and it's like, well, I'll fucking talk about these last 3 things, the last couple of nights, that sort of shit. So, I'd love to have Rand. He would certainly do wonders for my channel, but I don't know if I can always ask Rand, but I don't know if he'd commit. He would definitely bring definitely a lot of clout, a great knowledge, and a great Xbox fan to the show. That's for sure. So, I'll definitely consider it, guys. But anyway, perhaps next week we'll come back. You know what? Personally, as a personal favorite, I would love to get Mooch. I know some of you guys love him. Some of you guys hate him. I'm a big fan of Mooch. Mooch is one of the reasons I do podcasts. He's a funny guy. His rants are second to none. But But I think this time slot would be too tough for Mooch. It's a little bit late on the East Coast, all that shit. Hey, Mr. Kimo, what's happening, bro? Thanks a lot, man. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't do it anyway, but I do appreciate the suggestion. All that stuff, man. So anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that. We'll come back and we'll talk about this more next week as we consider how we're going to move forward. But needless to say, Gaming After Dark will be back. And I look forward to seeing you all again next Tuesday. And yeah, by next Tuesday, we hopefully have all this spec bullshit out of the way and we can finally say which console is more powerful than the other. Everybody wants to know. But yeah. Well, you know, look, I love Mooch, and I'm saying this right on the podcast. I love Mooch. He's an awesome guy. And I know him personally outside. I've had a lot of chats with Mooch outside of podcasting. Very level-headed guy. If you guys got to know him the way I know him, you'd love him. He's a good guy. He's knowledgeable. He speaks well. He's got that radio persona, you know, like I told him. I said that's why he does so well with this, because he's like the kind of guy you'd hear on that, you know, that Saturday evening talk show kind of stuff, right? But yeah, he's been kind of like on that whole PlayStation trip, like it seems like a lot of our community's been for the last fucking year. And but yeah, but I don't know. Xbox is still alive, well and kicking. The Xbox Series X is a serious powerhouse, and with all of the studios, there are great games coming, and they're not far away now. Not too much longer. We're going to be playing some of the best games ever made on an Xbox or PC platform. But I'm an Xbox guy, so most of us will play them on Xbox, right? But anyway, keep it gaming, guys. Have fun. I'll talk to you later. Love you guys. You're fantastic. And please stay healthy. Do what you got to do, but protect yourself, protect your family. Don't want anybody here to get sick. So, yeah, so definitely, yeah, we'll see you guys again soon. Yeah, we don't want people, I don't want people that's already too positive, that can't be critical, but I don't want people that's going to be overly negative all the time either. Like just constant fucking Debbie Downer shitting on the brand, stuff like that. That's stuff I'm trying. Great Skull Zero, what's going on, brother? Man, my throat's getting really chapped up here. Anyways, too bad Primal didn't make it back, but I'm sure she wishes you well. We'll see you again next week, guys. Take care, have fun, look after yourselves, and again, we'll be back next week. Peace out.